Fari Hamzei, he's the founder of Hamzei Analytics. He joins our show every Wednesday morning, bringing his wealth of knowledge on equity options and index futures trends.
Mouthful.
Fari, we got to talk about one stock to start the show. What stock you think I
Please.
want?
Oh,
Microsoft.
what? My choice or yours?
Mine.
Microsoft? Okay.
Microsoft.
All right,
Because the
Microsoft.
bet.
Are
Because he's
you
close to winning his bet. He's all excited. He's hungry.
Are you getting the fighter jets ready to deliver my lunches?
Drones.
What are you going to use?
Drones. We do drones now. Hold on. That's what do you call it? That's the Newberry division of Northrop. Hold on. Microsoft. Let me look at it two ways, if you don't mind. Is there news on it, or what's the interest in Microsoft?
Just,
May I ask that first?
Well, it's just because of your bet. That's why he wants to start with you, because you got that bet, which you for the 45. Versus,
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, we're at on the OTF chart, which I'll be posting later on. I did do yesterday on Netflix and on Tesla. Netflix is still running up, but it's kind of top heavy. Tesla said it should rotate down. I think we're beginning to rotate this morning. This is a reverse happening with Microsoft. I'll post the chart. It should be rotating up from here.
You think so?
We're pretty much oversold. There's not a lot of activity yet, but it's trying to build some follow. Now, on the regular Sigma channels, there's very little activity. The standard deviations are too tight.
I need 45 to get those lunches. What are you gonna send me this time? You gonna send me some?
I have no idea. Probably some care packages.
No, I want something good. I sent you lobster bisque from Shaw's, and I got some.
You're a classy kind of a guy. Me, I'm a working class.
Okay.
I'm in Chicago. You're in Detroit. You're a rich guy.
Okay. All right. Let's move on here, Fari, and let's just talk about the S&Ps. And, you send out, we take a look at your numbers and stuff, and just kind of like to get a feel, like what your numbers are saying today, what you're looking at. We've had a lot of two-sided action in the expiration here. Was this just another dip to buy here, or, is this a time to maybe get out last gas before we really tank?
Well, unfortunately, as I mentioned this also in the chat room yesterday afternoon, because I posted some stuff also publicly, but more room, more time, that kind of stuff in the chat, over 140 characters of Twitter, was that we will only know if these calls are correct or not in the rearview mirror. But chart-wise, from an indicator point of view, we are at least at a possible local minima. This is all function of order flow. If somebody asks me, why aren't you speaking with more conviction? Listen, nobody can. Nobody knows. The more you know, the more you understand, or the more you learn, you understand how little you know. And chart-wise, based on indicators, either we're going to retest a low of Monday, after going up a little bit as like a dead cat bounce, or that could be taken out. But we got slightly oversold, and yesterday we had a doji, and I talked about we should bounce. I had some longs last night, but I covered a little bit too early because I was getting tired. And every day is a new market. And now I noticed that this is all in transcripts of the chat rooms. Now I notice that we have a nice bounce here, and we're up about 7 now. We're about 7 now. It's a slow grind coming back up. Remember, we have FOMC next week, so chances of rotating down immediately right now probably a little bit less. We'll see. But we did get to initial point where a bounce could be coming in. 2 of my 4 key indicators confirm that. So we just have to see, in the rearview mirror what happens.
So it's amazing here how much that chart Joel was pointing out this morning is identical to the Apple chart. This S&P futures chart and the action from the last 2 months is virtually identical to the Apple chart. Because if you bring up the Apple chart, it is you can just put these on top of each other here right now. We know Apple's the biggest component in the S&P, but man, they are really following each other here right now.
Yeah. Well,
what are your thoughts on Apple? Because Apple matters here, obviously.
Oh, of course, absolutely. And well, look, listen. Let's say last 5 to 7 years, it has. Period. The time it didn't was 2004, but pretty much anytime after that low, it has mattered. We're at negative 2 sigma here on Apple. A bounce here is crucial, and I think we should be seeing that. CI is a little bit negative. That's on daily. Did we also cross? Yeah. We also, yesterday, came to test 50 bar from underneath. As far as the weekly is concerned, obviously, the momentum is waning, and you're also seeing the sigma channels are getting tighter. That is, you cannot have extravagant bet sizes here, or strikes. If you're playing options, you just can't have free open strikes, too wide strikes, if you will. Some volatility is getting sucked out of the system, but weekly wise. On the daily wise, I think we should see a bounce here, a slight bounce up. Where would I be surprised? Oh, past 131. But at least I think we should be possibly seeing at least about 130. But past 131 and a half, I'll be surprised. Now, where does this process is negated? If we go down to if we break 125. If we break 125, all the bets are off.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think if this breaks 125, I think you're going to see the S&P futures really probably start to roll over here too. So that's the number that this market needs to hold. Apple needs to hold this market up, and 125 is critical. Completely agree with you, Fari. Talking the overall market.
Now, overnight. Now, one more comment.
Okay.
No, one more comment on Apple again, because we were running 2 servers. OTF.
Sure.
On OTF, overnight is beginning to get some activity, or what I call, because OTF gives a lot of signals. We just have to classify them. This one is of large players, large market participants.
So we've been talking about the imbalances. Me and you have been tweeting back and forth here, and we had 7 days in a row of pretty significant sell imbalances at the close. Yesterday it started with over 700 million to sell at 345, but by the close we actually did slightly end up with a buy imbalance. So I guess the streak is over because it ended up with 100 million to buy, which is very small, but enough to break that 7-day streak. Somebody else was tweeting out to me that there was like 40 of the last 50 days or something like that. So basically 80% in the last 2 months have had sell imbalances at the close. Yet the market hasn't really sold off significantly here. First, what are your thoughts overall that we've had some significant actions set to the sell side at the close? And does that make you nervous with the overall market, or is it just a good sign that the market's held up despite all that selling pressure?
Well, first of all, we look at a market on close at 2 time slices, precise slices. We do not move that, okay? Because that's key. One is at 15 minutes to go. One is 10 minutes to go. Okay, because after that, it could be fluid and you can't even take action if you want to look at it. But we've always looked at it 45 minutes, 15 to go, and 10 to go to the close. It did improve. Okay, I did not see what the absolute MOC was at the close, but it did improve. It was a big sell, like a 700 mil at the quarter off, and went to like 600 mil, something to that nature, if I recall properly. Now, that would make it still yesterday the 8th in a row, not 7th, 8th in a row, because the Thursday, the 28th, was a small sell. Even though the market sold quite a bit, the MOC was only 200 million. We don't count it under 500 mil. That's considered too small. But we've had since then every day over 500 mil. A couple of days were over $1 billion. Okay. Now, market has been very resilient. I think 2 issues here. One is, I think the money managers, they may be getting a little bit more expensive money now because of the Fed. You could see the treasuries and possible Fed change of a bias there. But the economy would be healthier if that rate signal comes. So you have 2 schools of thought there fighting with each other in the market, if you will. To me, it has held up. It has held up. Look at the econ data. Other than non-farm payroll, other data has not been all that good. We have had a lot of misses, but the market is holding. So, I just hope Dr. Yellen will have the courage and fortitude to get us on some sort of a at least one or two rate changes where some of this excess gets sucked out. Market gets some sort of ups and downs. Because right now it's only a one-way market. One-way markets are very dangerous. You need a two-way market. You can see also on the volumes. Oh, have you seen how low S&P volumes in the mornings are? It's absolutely incredible how low they are. It's just like every day is the summertime.
Fari, we got to talk about Tesla here. The analyst got it going the last couple days, had a nice sprint up, got near the 260 level, now giving it back here. If you go by the charts here, we did hit that 250 level, getting a little bit of a bounce here. Are you inclined to buy this thing, perhaps if it comes back down to 250 and fills the gap?
No, 243. My target is 243. I posted a chart 15 hours ago. It's on Twitter. It said the next move is to the downside if 251 is breached. And I believe overnight we have reached that.
So are you going to try?
What's the low overnight?
The low overnight.
I'm sorry?
The low overnight is 250.16. So would you try and wiggle a short in there then? If you were shorting it here with that 243 target, what would you use as a stop?
I could put a small bet size on. That is, I would put a spread, but keep my bet size a little bit on a small size until it approaches 243, and then immediately get out, because this kind of a stock has a propensity to rise fast. So if you hit your 243 target, experience tells me chalk it up as lucky, not skill, lucky, and say, okay, OTF told me to do this, I did it, I'm lucky, I'm out. But then wait for the basing to occur. When the basing occurs, that's a good one you want to ride up. Then you go up. Look, the last time it was here was in April in this configuration. So it's usually, this stock has a tendency to ride up. We all believe in Elon Musk, right? So, until proven otherwise.
Fari, what about Twitter here? We finally started to break down yesterday here. I was saying on the show that I don't like this consolidation. I think it's eventually going to have a shakeout here to the bottom and shake a few of these longs that were leaning in this whole 35.5, 36 area out. We did get down to 35.5 there yesterday on Twitter. Do you think this is a real breakdown here, or is this just that breakdown that's shaking out and eventually we're going to pop back up?
Well, I think, first of all, Twitter, unfortunately, is lacking execution. I do follow Chris Seca. I have for a while. I follow a few venture capitalists. He speaks the truth. And he was pretty that 8,500 words memo. As you saw the analysis of it, I read the analysis of it, not the memo itself, because what do I know about the business? Was that the point is well taken. I've been very upset with them with their API version 1.1. The documentation has been poor in 2 years. They have just made a slight improvements. That's the fundamental side. Technical side, the target I would have to watch for me to get, and by the way, we have a couple of positions that are just under the water. These guys did not come back. The bat press hasn't helped. And maybe lack of action. I love the new software they've done. I don't think the software is that complicated, but maybe for an average person it is, or a layman it is. But here's the target I would be looking for getting long. And I cannot get this mouse quickly. There we go. 30. I would want to see 30, at least get to 35 area. It's got a little bit more to go. I think at 35, it will have a decent washout. I have two targets of 35. I'll take the lower one, say very low 35s. And I would wait for it to see if it bases. Otherwise, lack of guidance, because right now when you get attacked with that, they haven't done press, they're nothing. They have released some software, but I think they could do a lot more. Remember, this is a product that came online when everything was mobile. Okay, not like Facebook or Google or Microsoft were transitioning to mobile. These guys came out where everything was mobile, so the expectations were higher than this. I really think also they really take care. They need to take care of their ecosystem, which is the developers, people like us, we do stuff on Twitter for our desktop. We're lost without the proper API, and they don't respond. The emails. I mean, I had emails to the board members haven't responded. So it's sad.
Fari Hamzei, he's the founder of Hamzei Analytics. He joins the show every Wednesday, bringing his wealth of knowledge on aggressive equity options and futures trading. Fari, thanks a lot. Pleasure as usual. We'll check in with you next Wednesday.
It was my honor. Thank you.